So I'm not from America, which means I did not know and I had no idea who Joe Rogan was. In 2016, I started going to the gym and I started listening to some motivational videos. When one voice comes through and it changes my whole life. At the beginning, it was just a voice, and I remember that this guy, he said some very interesting things. One of them was that if he had 100 lives, he would spend learning different things, enjoying different cultures, learning about new habits and all that. Immediately, that clicked in me something that was just discovering myself at a time, how to expand your consciousness, you know. And the way he lays it out, it was very relatable to me. And I didn't know who he was. I just heard the voice and I kept working out, listening to it. And I remember that the voice, I wanted to keep, like, every time that a motivational video had his voice on, I would click on him. Then a year later, I started dating this girl that she was very into Joe Rogan. At the time, I didn't know who he was. I didn't know his name. I didn't know what he looked like. Just remember hearing the voice. When I go to her house one day, I listen to the voice and I look at the TV and there's this bald dude talking and I'm like, who is that? And she's like, oh, that's Joe Rogan. He's a podcaster, comedian, and I listen to his podcast and it's great. He talks about a lot of stuff. And I was just like, huh. And I remember, like, she would listen to the podcast, and I was like, man, listening 2 hours of this, I don't know, But it was very entertaining the way he would talk about spirituality, the way he would talk about working out, the way he would talk about, fighting with random dudes, being disrespected by your boss, being disrespected by the system. And I was like, man, this guy is onto something. What happened right then and there, I didn't realize it, but it was Joe Rogan reframing my wounds, you can say. When I moved to America, I was a kid full of wounds and I didn't know who I was. I just knew I needed to do some work on myself. And Joe Rogan laid it out, the template of the work. What's the most interesting thing for me is as soon as I discovered something with him, I would just, and a question mark that I had inside of me. He kind of lays it out like that. For example, I used to think that I was crazy for enjoying